Who's actually getting the most out of LG's 65-inch art gallery TV, and who would be better off spending that money elsewhere? If you're wondering whether the premium price is justified for an everyday living room setup, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest hesitation I hear from buyers is the fear of buying a fancy frame that looks great on the showroom floor but ends up feeling like an unnecessary extra when you actually try to watch a game or binge a series. Let's start with the core idea behind the art gallery line. LG designed this model to sit like a piece of wall art rather than a conventional television. The magnetic teak tone frame snaps on in seconds and gives the screen a matte, museum-quality finish. In practice, that means you can mount the TV on a plain drywall without worrying about the usual glare that comes from glossy panels in bright rooms. I've seen a few homeowners install it in a dining area that gets a lot of natural light, and the auto brightness sensor does a decent job of dimming the picture so the artwork-like surface doesn't become a hotspot. For people who value aesthetics as much as picture quality, that hidden trade-off paying extra for a frame that actually serves a functional purpose can feel worthwhile. But the frame isn't the only thing that sets this TV apart. The QNED mini LED panel brings deeper blacks than a standard LED, and the dynamic QNED color engine pushes a broader palette that looks surprisingly lifelike on a matte screen. The matte coating isn't just for looks, it reduces reflections so you can sit directly opposite a window without constantly adjusting the lighting. In my own testing, a family movie night with a bright evening sky outside still delivered solid contrast, and the colors stayed vivid without the washed-out feel some matte displays suffer from. Now, who should actually consider spending on this bundle? If you're a design-conscious homeowner who wants a TV that doubles as a statement piece, think an open-plan loft, a hallway gallery, or a home office that needs a subtle backdrop, this is probably one of the few models where the extra cost translates directly into everyday enjoyment. The included teak frame is magnetic, so swapping it out for a different finish later is painless, which is a nice flexibility if you ever redecorate. It also appeals to tech-savvy folks who like the AI-driven auto brightness and color optimization. The TV learns your viewing habits and subtly tweaks the picture over time, meaning you spend less time fiddling with picture menus. On the flip side, if your primary concern is sheer screen size for a dedicated home theater room, or you're a gamer who wants the fastest response times and highest refresh rates, you might be better off looking at a more performance-oriented model without the decorative frame. The art gallery's matte surface, while great for reducing glare, can sometimes make fast-moving sports look a touch softer compared to a glossy panel that emphasizes crisp edges. Also, the magnetic frame adds a few extra pounds, making ceiling mount installations trickier. If you're set on a ceiling mount, you'll need a sturdier bracket and possibly a professional installer, which adds hidden cost. Practical strengths become clearer once you start using the TV day to day. The auto brightness control is genuinely useful in a home with varying lighting conditions. I've walked from a bright kitchen into a dim living room and the picture adjusted almost instantly, keeping details visible without a manual tweak. The QNED mini LED backlight also provides localized dimming zones, which means dark scenes retain depth, perfect for streaming shows with heavy shadow work, like crime dramas or sci-fi series. The built-in smart platform runs LG's WebOS, and the interface feels snappy enough for quick Netflix or YouTube sessions, with voice control via Google Assistant or Alexa already wired in. There are some weaknesses that matter after the purchase. First, the TV's sound system is fairly modest. The integrated speakers are tuned for dialogue clarity but lack the punch you'd expect for an immersive home theater experience. Most reviewers who bought this model ended up adding a soundbar or a small surround setup, which adds to the overall cost. Second, the frame, while stylish, does limit the maximum screen towel distance you can get if you try to push the TV further away from the wall to achieve a deeper viewing angle. The magnetic attachment is strong, but it can create a small air gap that becomes noticeable if you're sitting very close, which may affect perceived sharpness for those who sit less than 3 feet away. Lastly, the AI auto brightness sometimes overshoots in very dim rooms, making the picture appear a bit too bright for a movie night. You'll need to manually dial it back once in a while. When it comes to value, the real question is whether you're paying for a TV that looks like a piece of art or for a set of technical upgrades that you could find on a cheaper model. The mini LED panel and QNED color engine are already present in higher-end LG TVs that don't include the frame,